your emotions, my emotions, 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 feelings. Oh, don't we love to avoid them? Emotions, I realize, are something that we have a hard time dealing with because as adults, going back to that, when it was okay for a child versus it being okay for an adult. When you're a kid, it's okay to cry. Like when a child has temper tantrums, like the terrible threes or the terrible twos, I think it is. That's what it is, the terrible twos. When a child has the terrible twos, it's expected, you know. When a child has different behaviors or situations, meltdowns or crying and really want something and that they're just crying. Like children cannot help but to display their emotions, and they let you know immediately how they're feeling. If they feel off, if they feel safe, they'll definitely tell you how they're feeling and what they don't like and what they do like. And the older we get, for some strange reason, I realize that it's not okay to feel anymore, and we don't talk about our feelings and we don't talk about the emotions that we're having, and so we suppress them because we don't want people to know what's going on the inside. And we tend to use the excuse of, well, my emotions are none of your business, or what I'm going through is none of your business, and I don't know what you'll do with my emotions or my vulnerability. And I'm all for boundaries. I am a high advocate for boundaries, and you can share when you're in a safe space, absolutely. However, like I caught myself, I'm going to give you guys an example. And this is because I'm in therapy, so I'm realizing that I'm in a place where I'm okay with my emotions, and I'm not fully there yet. I'm still a work in progress, but I'm in a better place. But going back to emotions, I was in a meeting with someone on Zoom, and I was talking about like progress and things that I want to achieve and things of that nature, because I was asked a question and I responded to the question and I just started crying. And what I was crying about had nothing to do with the meeting that I was having. Like I just started crying out of nowhere, and I could not stop the tears from coming down. My body wanted to cry, and it happened, okay? And that was the first time I realized that I did not stop myself from feeling. I didn't just, hey, you can't be crying right now, suck it up. And I was lucky to have the person on the other side of the meeting be someone who is okay with me crying. So I knew I was in a safe place, and I think that's why I cried. But can you imagine if you were at work, or if you were at school, or if you're in a specific place and you just start crying out of nowhere? You're sobbing out of control. My question to you guys, and you can respond in the comments, how do you typically react if your body is sensing, it's feeling, but it's an inappropriate time, quote unquote, because of society tells you that it's not okay for you to feel right now? So I'm just interested to know what you guys feel about that. And the topic of this video is God cares about your emotions. And I say that because if we don't share our emotions with God, the only one who can handle every single feeling that you have, whether it's good, bad, sad, depressed, angry, belligerent, like you're spiraling, whatever it is, overwhelmed. And I even started using an emotions wheel so that I can start pinpointing what is it that I'm feeling right now. Because I realize that if I take my feelings and I ignore them, My therapist calls it emotional constipation, where you are not living anymore. You're not feeling at all. Like, you're experiencing life, but you're not. No, you're not experiencing life. You're not feeling anything. So when you are coming across something, you don't have any reaction to it. And so therefore you're in relationships and you're not feeling. But that's another whole topic. So needless to say, when we stuff our feelings away and we don't allow ourselves to feel, we hurt ourselves. And so a prime example in the Bible, Genesis 4, there's a story about a man named Cain, and he is the son of Adam and Eve. The first two human beings give birth to a boy, two boys, Cain and Abel. These two brothers, God tells them they have to offer sacrifices to cleanse themselves of their sins. This was what they had to do, and God showed them how to do it. So Abel was like, you know what? I'm going to do what God said. I'm going to do exactly what he told me. He went by the plan. But Cain was like, I don't have time for this. So he goes and creates his own plan and offers it up as a sacrifice. And then God rejects his sacrifice and accepts his brother's sacrifice. So Cain is like pissed. He's angry that he got rejected. So rejection can cause you to feel angry. But what do you do with that anger? And Cain, when he was angry, God could tell that his anger could go somewhere else. It could go left, completely left. And so God says to Cain, why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, won't you be accepted? And if you don't do well, sin is at your door. It's lying at the door, and it wants to have you. So God is basically telling Cain, hey, deal with this anger. Sort it out. Figure out why you're angry. Ask your anger some questions so that you're able to process and not misbehave or not flail all over the place, or like you're not flailing and you're not losing control. And that's what happened. So God said that to him, warned him about his feeling, and told and realized, okay, you have a valid reason to be angry. You've been rejected. But why don't you think about why you got rejected and then do something different the next time? I'm speaking to myself right now, by the way. And so Cain doesn't listen to God, and he gets so angry. His brother and him have a conversation, and he kills his brother. And this was the first killing, murder that ever happened on the earth on the history of this planet. That was the first time somebody killed someone. And it sounds devastating, and it is. But what I love about God is that he saw the injustice of the brother Abel. He was innocent. He did what was right, and he still got hurt. And so God was going to give justice to his brother, to Abel. So God comes and he's like, Cain, where you at? What you doing? Why did you do this? You know, he's questioning him, and he's asking him where his brother is. And he's like, am I my brother's keeper? And God is like, first off, I know what you did. I saw what you did. I'm everywhere. I see everything. And Cain basically gets a punishment from God, and God says that you will have to till the ground, and you will no longer yield its strength to you, and you're going to be a fugitive and a vagabond, and you shall be, that's how you'll be seen on the earth. And so basically God gives him his punishment for what he did. And this is when Cain was finally honest about how he was feeling. He says, my punishment is greater than I can handle. This is too much. So his punishment caused him to finally say what God wanted him to say in the first place, which was, I can't take this. This is too much and I need your help. And so the beauty of God is he says, you know what? Surely, therefore, whoever kills you, vengeance was going to be taken on them. And I'm going to set a mark on your head so that anybody who finds you won't kill you. So they'll know if they kill Cain, a vengeance of sevenfold is going to be on their head. So God comes through for Cain and has grace and mercy on him. He still gets the punishment because God is a father. He's like, you killed my son, you won't pay. And your payment is you're an outcast. You have to leave. You know what I mean? So I say all of that to say, find a safe place to share your feelings. It's important that you get your feelings out, that you have a place to be aware. Whether it's therapy, whether it's talking to someone you know who loves you unconditionally, who won't judge you for your feelings. Find places where you know you can safely discuss what you have going on in your mind. And that way someone can help you and save you from making a bad decision. And I believe that that's the reason why the man in this story kills his brother. It's because his anger and his feeling of rejection was so intense that he resorted to killing his brother. And that's not to say that he was right. He was absolutely wrong for doing that. And a lot of people who make decisions that are rash and that are harsh, and I've done it myself on multiple levels, when I am spiraling out of control because I'm like a 2-year-old, I'm having a temper tantrum, I'm flailing, I'm a mess right now. It's because I need somewhere, I just need a hug, or I just need somebody to listen to my feelings and validate my feelings. And we need to find safe environments to have conversations about what we're going through, because if not, and here's the thing, we all have an inner child that is still within us. Just because you're 35 or 80 or 40 now doesn't mean that little girl isn't still living on the inside of you, or that little boy still doesn't have needs and wants and dreams. You need to listen to that child, and that child will lash out in behaviors if you don't properly address the feelings that you're having on the inside. And these are things that I'm learning while I'm in social work currently, and while I am getting therapy myself. And I'm learning how to become a healthy individual, and understanding that hurt people who do not have a safe place to discuss their trauma and to discuss their pain and to discuss the things that they're going through continue the cycle of pain. So I'm not sure what happened to Cain after he was banished from the land and his family, but I have to say that when I would only hope that when he was able to share what he was feeling, he realizes now my needs will be met, and I don't have to go and kill someone else or hurt someone else because I'm feeling badly and I don't know how to fix it. So if you're a Christian, I pray that God and a Christian therapist can become your safe place to share. And if you're not a Christian and you don't want to accept God right now, and that's where you are, then find people who love you unconditionally and have discussions with them about what you're feeling. And I pray that you'll be patient with yourself and understanding with yourself and not judge yourself for the pain that you've experienced, because we live in an awful world. And so you do have the right to feel, but it's not okay that we take our feelings and impose the result on someone else. So I pray that this was able to help you and to give you permission to feel. I just want you to know that it's okay if you're hurting. It's okay if you want to cry. It's okay if you're sad. It's okay if you're angry. It's okay if you want to quit. It's okay if you just don't know what to do right now. If you're overwhelmed, if you're exhausted, you're tired. Take note of these things. Write them down. Journal. Let it out. And then you can move forward. But make sure you address how you feel, because you deserve it. And you deserve the acknowledgement of whatever you're going through. And you do need a listening ear that is safe. I hope that was helpful today. Have a good day.